Two. Good morning, ChiroSushi peeps. We're live with Dr. Dwayne Hoskins from Titronics. We're going to jam on some new technology that these guys are going to be releasing over at Titronics. If you've been around, you've been under a rock, then you don't know. But if you've been outside of a rock in chiropractic, then you know the name Titronics. You know the quality it brings. We're honored that they're helping to sponsor ChiroSushi Summit. They're helping to put Tucker Max up in a different hotel. No, I'm just joking. Well, I might be. But we're live with Dr. Dwayne Hoskins. First of all, I want to ask you, my man, how was your Easter weekend?
Easter was great. We had a great weekend of worshiping and reflecting and just being with family. So it was a good time, very good time.
Beautiful. This time of year is really great for second chances, for new beginnings, as it represents. As a chiropractor, what are some things that you do at this time of year for your practice and for your people that might align with the theme of this type of year? Is it a great time to do retention stuff or reactivation stuff?
Yeah, my practice is all built on retention. Yeah, it's all about renewing and recharging and refocusing. You know, we had a winter to go through. It's spring cleaning time. All the plants and all of especially down here in South Carolina, the pine trees right now are pollinating everything. And so it's a time to reflect on how your body works and what it takes to keep it clean while you're cleaning up your cars with all the pollen and inside your house from all the dust and stuff that's accumulated over the winter. And how our body just naturally deals with that. We need to keep our system clean and clear. And so it does add to the retention and to just the table talk that we have at the office.
Beautiful, man. Thanks for sharing on that. And you mentioned offline, spring cleaning for the equipment. Talk to me about what you want people to know about in relation to that.
Well, with any high precision piece of equipment, you need to keep it calibrated. Even a tenth of a degree can make a huge difference on our scans when we're talking about thermography scanning. Usually it doesn't happen, but when we get dust and pollen in the tubes, the collimation tubes of the scanner, that can also affect the scan. And if we're talking about precision and we're talking about people's status with chiropractic subluxation and dis-ease and health, that makes a big difference. And so when you have a high precision car, you're going to have it tuned up and you're going to have it hyper tuned if you've got a street racer. You need to do that with your equipment too. And so we have a plan at Titronics. It's going on right now. It's 10% off clean and calibrate. And what we do is we take it apart, we clean all the tubes, we replace the lenses even, put it back together, make sure all the parts are fit to spec, recalibrate it to make sure that we're getting an exact down to a hundredth of a degree precision, and then we send it back to you ready for another couple of years of use before it needs to be cleaned and calibrated again.
Oh, beautiful. For people who don't know, Dr. Dwayne, the technology, the history, if you could share real briefly, for people who don't know Titronics, can we give an extended elevator pitch, if you will?
Sure. Roger Titone is an electrical engineer. He worked for Welsh Allen, and he's got some degrees that just as long as your arm, but he's a great guy that got introduced to chiropractic and the miracle of chiropractic back in the 80s by none other than Clay Thompson and Myron Brown, some of the legends in our profession. And Clay Thompson was at the time, with his Thompson technique and his analysis method, using thermography heavily. And he got Roger interested enough in chiropractic that Roger decided to help out our profession by creating a device that not only could scan the bilateral thermographic differences. There was already scanners out that could do that, but do it to high level of precision and accuracy. So putting the tubes in added collimators, and if any of my chiropractic friends know about collimating on a grid in an X-ray thing, it makes the image much cleaner and much clearer. So we get down to precision where the temperature differences are.
Yeah.
And then that was in the 80s, and he's only been refining the technology since. And Chris is the programmer for Titronics. Chris has been working to fill the niche needs of chiropractors that use the software down to a point where part of our software you can actually time resting beds, which is part of the protocol of upper cervical,
Yeah.
for 101 different resting beds. You can actually set a timer for 101 different beds with our software. Not a lot of people use that, but the ones that do appreciate it. So we're very sensitive to the needs of our clients, and that's because of Roger's intense connection to the foundation, some of the key players early in our profession.
Yeah, it's amazing technology, and if you're going to be share if you're going to be at some of the places next with the actual equipment, because I know
Yeah.
folks love at DE, and especially coming up and getting scanned. Where are you going to be next, showing off the equipment so people might
Uh,
be out there to see you?
we'll obviously be at Sherman Lyceum because that's like 10 minutes from my house,
Right.
so that's near and dear to us. I know and am convinced that it's the new fountainhead of chiropractic. That might ruffle some feathers, but when it comes to philosophy, they got it on point in every class, doing everything. That's from personal experience and exposure there.
Yeah.
But it's just near and dear to our hearts. So Roger will be down. We have Dr. Spaz coming from St. Louis to do some extra seminars for students. Anybody wants to stay over on Saturday and Sunday after Lyceum, it'll just be a good time to get the students a little bit extra exposure to some doctors in the field that actually do it. After Lyceum, we've got this thing in June. I can't remember what it is. It's in Vegas someplace. Um, Cairo
Kind of spam a lot. Kind
Chimi.
of spam a
With the
lot.
spam a lot. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We'll be at ChiroSushi, obviously. Really looking forward to that. Roger won't be there, but Chris will be there. He's our programmer, and
Uh,
he was one of the founding partners for Titronic. So Chris will be there. That'll be exciting. He's a geek, so he'll geek
oh, we
out.
have a lot of those
Yeah,
coming, dude. So
he's a great guy.
he'll be good. He'll be good. We
I'll
have a
be
lot
there.
of those
Julie will be
coming.
there. We're looking forward to that. In August, we'll be at the Blair Society, not the Blair Witch Society, but the Blair Chiropractic Society, and that'll be in Nashville. So we're looking forward to that. Blair uses the Titron almost exclusively in their technique and their assessment technique. So we have a really good relationship with those doctors and with the society. We're a strategic partner with them also. So we've got good deals and good relationship with them. We always go to the Gonstead ones up there in Wisconsin because headquarters of Titronics is Central Iowa, so they just run over and help with the Gonstead clinics.
Oh,
And,
cool.
on our scanners, we have a NCM simulator, so we can use our scanners to do the neurokilometer scanners and see the hard breaks that the Gonstead people like. So those are the ones that are on my radar right now.
Cool.
Obviously, D is something that I do quarterly. I usually don't go to Sarasota. It's just April's just a really crazy time. But we enjoyed New Beginnings and look forward to DE also.
Yeah. Thank you for letting us know. And for you guys out there, if you don't know, we have the link above. If you're interested in purchasing Tetronic unit, Dr. Dwayne has worked out an awesome combo package for ChiroSushi followers. You can check that out. But the big news today is you got some new technology rolling out. Let's dive into that.
Yeah, Roger's always been, again, he's an electrical engineer. He's always looking for a way to use technology to solve some of our problems. And so, we're taught in school to use the little plastic protractor to do the inclinometry, the range of motion. And it tends to be basically an educated guess.
Yeah.
And so he's come up with a way of using magnets and GPS positioning units on a micro scale,
Wow.
have a base unit and a pair of glasses that you wear that don't have lenses. And so you can take a patient through the complete range of motion, and it comes up with a really cool chart. And then that chart is stored over the course of care, and a report can be generated that shows the most recent 7 visits and their range of motion over those 7 visits, and a really cool pie chart. The unit can also be used for any joint. It can be used for elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, lumbar, thoracic, whatever you want to use it for, it can be used for. But the innovation is really the eyeglasses and the way it does its report.
Did I want to touch on this technology thing because, we hear so many battles in the profession about research this from MSK guys to Vitalistic and the biggest thing I see coming from that software technology area in Silicon Valley and then, ponying up with you guys is you guys can really help with the quantitative data collection. I mean, really, the research being done, one patient, one person at a time,
Hmm.
and now we have all this quantifiable data, and to see that, like, non-educated guests, a very granular data collection. I mean, this is huge, dude.
Absolutely. One of the SOAP notes, a subjective, objective assessment and plan. The objective is a misnomer because basically that is, what does the doctor see? Well, the doctor's subjective too. I mean, what I
Always
see is
bias.
based upon, is it 10 degrees or is it 15 degrees? You tell me. If it's my patient, and I want to help them get better, and today I might feel like it's 12, but it's the same thing as it was last week, which was 9. This takes all the guesswork out of it. Just like the thermography, using the back of your hand, like D.D. Palmer started using hot boxes, and Hippocrates back in 400 BC was noticing by palpation hot spots. It's part of inflammation, but is that a 2-degree increase or a 2.5-degree increase? You just can't tell.
Yeah.
And when we add technology at high precision to the mix, it takes all the guesswork out of it. And then the reports really put it in graphical presentation what the results really are.
Did you want to share something? I believe, right?
Yeah, if I can get this to work where I could share the screen,
Yeah. Click on the right
just show,
hand
it's
side.
just a
Click
quick.
share screen. You'll get it.
This is
Yeah. There
just a
you go, buddy.
report.
We've done this.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can now. Yes.
So this is a report for the range of motion, the cervical. So it shows it. We actually have a one that this is just showing one visit, but as you add more visits, this pie gets chopped up with the visits. So you have the normal on the outside, and you actually have your data. Excuse me, the data from the exam here on the inside. So this gets layered as the more and more visits come along.
Oh, that's beautiful. Really clean
Yeah, so
report
it's
too.
really easy. It's something really good. It's also good for screening. I mean, we're always looking at, what money are we leaving on the table? This is something that a CA or a student or somebody who's looking for marketing experience, you can hire to go do screenings, take this unit, have them do this, have it printed out. Patient takes it home. It's got all your office information on it, shows them what normal is and what they did. And it's a really good screening tool also.
The investment into technology is just in chiropractic. You never, I think years ago you never thought technology and chiropractic. Where would those two meet, right?
Right.
Done by hand, and then we see that we actually have some of the best technology in all of the healthcare space,
Yeah.
which is to me is huge.
I think I've
And I
talked
love that
about
you
this
brought them.
before in one of our other videos, but I had somebody comment that, if BJ Palmer was here, we would never have gotten to the iPad. I'm like, you don't know BJ Palmer very well because he was way ahead of everybody else in using technology. He would have not had the iPad. He would have had the iPad Pro back in 1960, 1970, 1980.
Yeah.
He'd have been generations ahead of everybody else. I mean, he came up with the electronic typewriter with the automatic return. I mean, nobody else was thinking that far ahead. So
Yeah,
what
I
BJ
always said
Palmer.
B.J. Palmer was Steve Jobs before Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
You
absolutely,
know,
absolutely. I
he
mean,
had the marketing side and the engineer side.
and let's just talk about the holy grail of chiropractic right now is X-ray. We were using X-ray as an assessment tool way before medicine said, "Hey, we can use this to look at bones."
Yeah,
When
yeah,
we look at thermography, the same thing happened. We were using thermography in the 20s. The first medical research wasn't done until the 60s. We're way ahead of our the other stream of allopathic care, or that stream of allopathic care. We're way ahead of them in any technology. It just bugs me when people say, "Oh, you guys are stuck in history." No, we're at the cutting edge of history, bud.
yeah. I love. Dwayne knows his stuff too. Dwayne knows his history, and one of these days we'll have a jam. Maybe we'll get you and Simon Senzen and do a group. We'll get another, do a big group kind of chat. I'm
Yeah,
very grateful for the partnership with Titronics, guys. I want you to learn more about Titronics, connect with Dr. Dwayne. And tomorrow night I'll be having Dr. Steve Judson. We'll be jamming about his new books, but also
yeah.
talking about his usage of Titronics in his office, so you can get another set of eyes, and another set of stories how someone else is using this technology. And always grateful to have you on, my friend, and love you madly. And I'm grateful for your support of chiropractic and ChiroSushi.
Well, I appreciate the partnership. And even without all this, I'd still be supporting chiropractic. It's my chosen profession. It's my calling in life. It's something I'll do until the day I die. And I look
Brother,
forward
go
to seeing you
surfing.
soon, brother.
See you, brother. Talk to you
All right,
soon.
take